Ooh, I've just taken my glasses off and I can't see anything. Hi everyone and welcome to the third episode of my InCharge series. Hashtag InCharge. I realised last week I was trying to do, hello? Hashtag. The InCharge series is, I'm going to keep plugging it because it's not that long to go now. I have a book coming out any flipping minute. Called Can I Speak to Someone in Charge, and the InCharge series is taking a topic from the book each week and sort of discussing it in more detail so you know what you could expect if you were to purchase this book. And I'm here today to talk about the gym. Now, where do I start? So there are two chapters addressing elements of exercise in the book. There is Dear the Gym, as in Dear the enormous building that I don't go to as much as I should. And then there is another letter which is Dear Women Who Know They Look Good in Lycra. So, the women that look good. We all know the women. Like perfectly proportioned women. That Sweaty Betty was like the original Sweaty Betty. Like the Betty that was going to get sweaty was one of these women, I believe. However, they've gone wrong because I don't think they sweat. I mean, I get a little bit confused by these women. They are hot stuff. They have great hair, which always looks great, even if they've been in yoga for 4 hours. They have voluptuous cleavage. They float rather than walk. And they make the gym utterly terrifying. Now, I'm not shaming these women. I actually believe these women are medical marvels. Like, they are miracle people. And they're great. But I don't love that I have to coincide with them, because when I put on my lycra and I look like sausages, like raw sausages are rolling over the top of my leggings, and I see these women, I'm like, what have I done wrong? Like, what did I do in my last life to look this shit in lycra next to you? So, I am aware of the fact there are some poo bags in my bra. I was like, that is really itchy. I've just got back from walking Bua. In this heat, guys, we all know how hot it is in London, so I'm really sweaty, so my brain might not be working at full capacity. I'm sweating more now than these women do in their lycra in the gym. That's the sort of point we ought to be making. The sweat coming out of this whole region is more than these women could imagine ever producing. They are basically amazing. I don't want to take away from their damn hard work to get them looking that good, but I do wish they'd be slightly less brilliantly beautiful in the middle of the gym when I'm trying to walk in there and not want to shoot myself and cry, you know? Which does bring us on to the main chapter, the gym. Now, what is the gym to me? I talk a lot about my experience with exercise. I talked a lot about that on the blog. I did a podcast on it not that long ago. Exercise is something that I talk a lot about, mostly because I do more now than I ever thought I would. So I exercise now. However, my relationship with the gym is still really, really complicated. Right now, we're on a break. We've been on a break, which has cost me 150 quid because it's been 3 months since I've gone. More than that, 180 quid. I need to go back to the gym. Or cancel my membership. I need to make a plan of some kind here. We're on a break at the moment, and then sometimes we have full-blown me and Mrs. Jones type affairs, and that's it, and I'm obsessed, and I'm there all the time. And I don't think I'm alone with this incredibly turbulent relationship with the gym. And so this chapter covers a lot of gym intimidation. We all know about gym intimidation. Gym intimidation is when you walk in the gym and you see the aforementioned beautiful women in lycra and you see these beefcake men, like, you know the beefcake men, and they are enormous and they clap each other on the back a lot for picking up something and putting it back down again, and they haven't worn very much, and they're sweaty, but in a good way, and they're so strong. And then you just like wander over to the weight machine, you're gonna like, hey, I'm gonna tone up my bingo wings, and you get in there and they all look at you and they're like, and you're like, oh my God, I wanna die. and it's horrendous. So gym-timidation comes from those men. It comes from the women who are there like, oh, I've been holding this plank for like 3 years, why, what's up? When you walk in, they're like everyone, you just trip over them and they're all just like amazing and smell like Jo Malone candles and you're like, help me. It's them. It's the machines, the fact that literally the machines make no sense. And the last thing I want to do is go in there quite clearly not understanding it and then have to like very publicly not understand it. You know, like get there and then there's everyone looking at you because the men are looking at you going, and the women are going, 4 years now, and in the plank, and you're still looking at it going, what the fuck, and then you sit and you're like, oh yeah, I can do £5 or £10, whatever, and it's like, oh fuck, I can't even do £10. That's horrendous. Then you get nervous about running or cycling, you think, oh my god, is someone gonna notice I've only been on here for like 30 seconds, and obviously no one notices, but you don't know that. And then it's actually the art of like walking into the building. Generally speaking, when I get into a gym, arrive at a class, walk in, see all these beautiful people, I'm quite good at like blinkers on, we know what we're here for. The art of leaving my house to go to the gym is a whole nother kettle of fish. And that is horrendous. So I look at women in lycra, I look at gym-timidation, and then I also look at the overwhelming lack of education surrounding exercise in this country. I genuinely left school with no idea about exercise, about what my different muscles could do, about running, about HIIT training, about what RPM was, what BPM was, what a BMI was. I literally had no idea. I had no idea there was a connection between endorphins and happiness. I didn't know that to get endorphins, you had to do exercise. I didn't know that when I started running, I'd be shit at running. I saw women in films running and I thought, huh, running looks easy. And then I went running and I was like, running's really hard. Why is running so hard? No one told me that unless you do it all the time, it's really difficult. I literally left school having been on the under 14 E's netball team. Captain, thank you very much. And that was it. Like, I went into the big wide world with no understanding. I thought that 5 minutes on the rowing machine constituted as exercise. I didn't know that walking counted as exercise. Now I'm like, oh my god, walking's the best exercise ever. No one told me that, so I didn't walk. PE was never fun for me at school, ever, ever, ever. Swimming was horrendous. Running, I was so slow. As I said in the podcast when you listen to that, hurdles were genuinely my worst nightmare. I could not, for the life of me, enjoy exercise at school. So when it no longer was mandatory, you know, when I left school, there was no way that I was going to do it. And I kick myself now because I would genuinely love to have done exercise continually. Like, I'd have loved to be able to left school and got into it, because it has been so difficult having to get into it as an adult. So the other thing, the final thing that I do in my dear gym, I sound like I'm talking to a man called Dim. Oh my god, I can't even speak. I think ultimately what the problem comes down to is, well, a few elements, all the ones I've mentioned, but then also the fact that there is a huge pressure on all of us surrounding exercise right now. Anyone who's on Instagram, like, in the 90s, I'm gonna put my book away. In the 90s, I think being thin was the thing. Like Alexa Chung, Kate Moss, like they were London, they were skinny. I mean, they were up to their tits in cocaine, but it didn't matter. They were the kind of aspirational body. Whereas recently, although thin still is a huge thing, which drives me mad, it's a lot about being fit now. Like, that's what's really important. Like having abs, being strong. It's like, what's that expression they say? Like, I mean, it's probably like strong, not thin. I don't know what it is, but it's something like that. Like, that is a huge thing for people now. Like, strength is more important. And I get it. It actually is. It's so much healthier. It's more achievable. It's more attainable. Like, I think it is great. And I would rather be strong than thin, and I love the idea of getting really fit, and I love the idea of having muscles that I'm proud of. I love the idea of having an ab, or more than one would be great. Like, I love the idea of that so much. But I think what we need to remember is it's so much more difficult than Instagram would lead us to believe. Like, you sit on Instagram, oh my god, I follow an amazing exercise account, and it's the Kin, like they're a protein powder company. Anyway, follow them on Instagram, and it was this video of this woman doing squats up the stairs. So just for a giggle, she was in Ibiza and she looked amazing, obviously. Just for a giggle, I was like, I'm gonna try and do the squats, like a squat up the stairs. don't do it. If you haven't trained, don't try it. I swear to God, I was like, ow, like I just tripped, it just didn't work. My legs were like, what the fuck, babe? Like, no, this isn't how we do stairs. This isn't what we've trained for. Like, I see stuff on Instagram and I think, I want to be doing that. And then I go to try and do it and I'm like, oh my God, it's so hard. And no one tells you that. You know, no one says, these women don't put their hands up and they go, it took me 5 years to learn how to do this. You know, like, I see pictures of my friends doing yoga. I've got a friend who's like super into yoga and I see her shit and I'm like, I could do that. And then the other day I got a bit pissed and I saw on her Instagram, it was like, I think they call it the crow, where like you put your arms out here and then you have to like hold your feet out behind you, but like basically hold your whole body weight like bent over the air with your hands. I tried it, I was like, oh, no drama, I'll be great at this. Tried it, floored it, like absolutely stacked it. There's no way I'm strong enough. But she didn't say anywhere on her Instagram like, oh my God, 1 year on, look what I can do. She just went, oh, I love yoga. So I was like, well, maybe I'll love yoga too. I'll give it a go. Don't love yoga, like it was horrendous. And that's it, it's like, it's so unrealistic and unexplained, the world at the moment. The world of exercise is just so weirdly overwhelming. But it's like a huge false advertising thing at the moment. And our role models, like we forget, like, you know, you're so naive about exercise. You know, I actually legitimately, I've got this written in the book and I won't read from it, but I think I genuinely left school believing that a calorie was an actual measurement of weight. Like, if I ate 200 calories in my Kit Kat, I could sit on the cross trainer till I'd done 201 calories and then I was in the clear and I was good to go. And like, I think an element of that like complete misunderstanding came with me into adulthood. And you know, I still don't really understand how, I didn't really understand that, you know, getting abs or getting good at something was so much more than going to the gym twice a week. You know, it is advertised badly to us, and I'd sit there and eat a burger and then wonder why I didn't have this, or I'd sit and eat 3 chocolate muffins in an hour and then be like, wait, why haven't I got triceps? And it's like, actually, what these women don't show you is that so much more goes into that. So this chapter kind of looks at that sort of lie, because it is a lie really, and kind of my experience with exercise is that it's not easy. It isn't easy, and it can be fun. Like initiatives like this girl kind of so great, but it can be fun, but we need to start advertising that bit. But I think we also need to start asking people to like embrace the struggle. Like, it's quite satisfying. Like I found when I went running, when I like learned how to run for the first time, and that's not an exaggeration, when I first ran, I couldn't run a kilometre, and then I did a half marathon, which broke me, but I did it a few weeks ago. And like, I want to say, like, that was really rewarding. What I underestimated was how much training that would take. So I think we should celebrate the struggle, but also be sort of honest about the fact that it isn't easy. And you're not weird if you don't get up at 5 AM and train. You're not weird if you can't run 5 miles, and you're not weird if you can't bench your own weight, and you're not weird if you haven't been to the gym in 3 months. You're actually so normal, and it's just Instagram that's making you feel like you're the anomaly, you're the lazy one, and you're just not. There was one thing that I found to be incredibly interesting from, I'm aware that I'm getting sweatier by the minute, and actually I'm just going to ask you not to comment because it is fucking hot in London this week, for lack of a better word. I am sweating out of my eyes. And Sport England did a survey in 2014. They found that 2 million fewer women than men partook in sport and exercise regularly, despite the fact that of those 9.4 million, 75% of them, which is 7.1 million women in the UK, said they would like to be more active. Like, I would be in that 7.1 million. I suspect every woman I spoke to would like to be in that 7.1 million. And the fact is the willing is here, but something beyond our willing is gone wrong. And I think a huge amount of that complication is lying with the gym. So this chapter is for the 7.1 million people, women, who, that would be a lot of book sales if everyone bought it, but it is for the 7.1 million women, or 5 of you, who would like to be more active but feel like they can't be, because there are a lot of us. The other thing is, just on the back of that, when asked to give a reason as to why they don't exercise, these women, they said it was because they were afraid of being judged for either how they looked or for not being very good at what they were trying to do. I think that's everything I was saying earlier about gym intimidation, and again, comparing ourselves to the women who look good in Lycra. Like, there is a huge element of, I don't want to embarrass myself, I don't want to be bad at something, and I think that's it. Like, that's the Instagram culture I was saying. You don't feel like you can be bad at stuff in this day and age because you feel like you've got to share a photo of you doing it. And the fact that women are scared of being judged for trying to better themselves pisses the life out of me. So it's the chapter is an accumulation of handy tips for the gym if they want to, you know, better themselves and stop being total douchebags. And it's also a kind of love letter to everyone of those 7.1 million people like me who kind of wants to be great but just doesn't have a bloody clue. And it will make you feel better, I guarantee. Of all the chapters, you will read that and think, oh, thank God there is someone more deluded than me. Like, my school years and exercise make for really funny reading if you like laughing at other people's expense, which you should, because it's generally quite funny. So that is that chapter. I've realised I'm like too hot to speak. That I don't think I made a lot of sense. Read the book, you'll kind of get what I was saying. I'm sorry, I'm still not great at YouTube. I am sweating, I'm under a ring light. It's no excuse. I think I actually do have sweat patches. Yeah, I think, please don't look under my arms. I think I have sweat patches. 28 days, 27 days till the book comes out when you're watching this. So a little book party. Again, showing it, I'm going to do like a party down here where you can't see my sweaty armpits. 27 days, guys. If you haven't pre-ordered it, please pre-order it. Link is down below. I'm so excited. I cannot thank you enough for the messages that I am getting. Like, I keep getting nervous and then bam, someone's there to make me feel better. And please don't underestimate how much I live for that. Like, thank you so much. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I can't wait to see you next week. I hope this was okay and not too blah 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 blah. Felt a bit blah blah blah, but we are here now. I have done it now, and my camera has low battery and I'm too hard to do it again, so this is what you get. Anyway, yeah, I hope you liked it. Like I say, pre-order if you fancy, subscribe. I don't know where you do that, but please do that because that makes me super happy. And yeah, obviously get in touch with anything. Please comment, let me know what you think, like the video, all of that fun stuff. I'm rambling because I feel like I fucked the whole thing now. Anyway, I will see you next Friday. Come find me on Twitter, Instagram, and let me know if you've pre-ordered the book because that makes me super happy. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the sunshine, put sun cream on, take care. All my love. Thanks, guys. Bye.